So hey YouTube, welcome back to another of my videos. Today, what we're going to be doing is, I am finally going to be doing my review on the Retron 5. So I've had the Retron 5 for around 3-4 weeks now, and I've been absolutely loving it. I was hoping to do this so much sooner. I had the video planned and written and everything, but I was waiting for my capture card that I ordered from Amazon to arrive, and it just took ages to come. But the main thing is the capture card arrived, and I'm now able to do this review and capture some footage from the Retron 5. So I'm just going to break this video into two parts. The first one being what I liked about the Retron 5, and the second part is going to be what I didn't like. So let's kick things off with things about the Retron 5 that I did like. So the first thing about the system that I liked is that it plays so many systems. I mean, it plays the NES, the SNES, Famicom, which is Japanese NES, Super Famicom, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Mega Drive and Genesis games, and you can also buy an adapter, I think it's like £60 or so, that lets you play Game Gear and Master System cartridges. So that's a lot of games that you can play on the Retron 5. The console is also HDMI out. This means that it's like easier to connect to a modern TV like the one I have behind me. It's easy just to plug it in and it works. You don't have to mess with component cables or SCART or any of that. This also means that it looks well on the TV as well. What I like about the Retron 5 is that it doesn't stretch the image. You can set it to do that in settings. You have like loads of different settings in the settings menu. Put on filters and stuff. I'm personally not a fan of that stuff. I just like to play the games as they come up onto the screen. But what I like is that it retains its aspect ratio, and because it's HDMI, it looks good on a HD TV. The setup process for the Retron 5 is also very easy. The controller just simply plugs into the machine to charge, and then it also connects using Bluetooth. It does use a micro USB cable. Nowadays we're kind of becoming accustomed to having USB-C. For me, micro USB for this unit works completely fine. The Retron 5 is also region free, which means I can import cartridges from different countries. Some NES carts are cheaper in America than they are here in Europe, so it means that if there's something that I want to play, I can obviously just import it and play it no problem. And of course it has the Famicom slot, which means that I can just import games from Japan and stuff like that, and I can play all of those things in the comfort of one unit. And that leads me on to my next point, which is translation patches and cheats and stuff can be installed onto the machine using an SD card. So if you put an SD card into the back of the Retron 5, you can then use the SD card to install cheats and translation patches. I don't like using cheats and stuff. I just don't get into that whole modding stuff. It's not my cup of tea. But translation patches are completely up my street. Having that feature for me is a big feature because I love playing games just as much as I love collecting games, and as long as I can play something, I'll collect it. I also really like the design of the console. I got the black Retron 5 with the purple. I actually think the design of the system is quite sleek. It's flat, there's room for the cartridges to sit up even if you had it in like a unit. And a really cool thing about it as well is that I have a habit, if you can see behind me, of just leaving my controllers on my desk. But with the Retron 5, there's a place just to plop your little controller in. So I'm quite happy with that because it means I don't have an extra controller just lying on my desk. So that is all the stuff that I liked about the system. So here are the things that I didn't like about the system. The controller, which is this. So this is my Retron 5 controller. I don't think this controller is bad. It's just not the best, is it? It's very clicky. You have this little directional wheel, which is really weird to play. Like, I don't know why they didn't go with a D-pad. It's very weird to play retro games with something like this, especially when it sounds like a mouse. Just to bring it over to my mic. That is what it sounds like. And all the buttons are super clicky as well. Like, it's quite a loud controller. Also, I have no idea what these buttons do. I don't think actually, a lot of people are complaining about how the controller actually is. I actually don't mind it. I've been playing the system for like an hour and the controller hasn't got annoying apart from the clickiness of the buttons. I would 100% recommend if you have the original controllers for the games that you're playing, it does have little ports at the side where you can put in the original like NES, Genesis and SNES controllers. If you have the original controllers, please use the original controllers. Another thing I found about the system, and I hadn't heard anyone else talk about it, is system updates are weird. Because it doesn't have a Wi-Fi card, you have to update it via the SD card, which sounds okay in practice, you know. I thought you just plugged the SD card into your computer, downloaded a patch file, plugged it into the Retron 5 and downloaded it. Done. There's actually an extra step at the start. You have to plug your SD card into your system. It'll like send a file to the SD card to say, yes, this is the update the system needs. Then you have to go to your computer, go to the website, drag that file onto the website. The website will then be like, yeah, here's the update file you need. Then you download that update file, drag it onto the SD card and plug that into the Retron 5. And you don't know when the system actually needs updated either. You just have to kind of keep checking the website. I think if they were going to do a revision of the Retron 5, it would need to have Wi-Fi for that reason. Because you could be running an unstable firmware on your Retron 5 and not know it. And the last thing that I don't really like about the Retron 5 is that sometimes the cartridge slots, especially on mine, the Genesis / Mega Drive slot, can be very, very tight. Sometimes it feels like you have to really pull the carts out to get them out. The carts are quite sturdy, they're quite, you know, well built. You know, you can give them a little bit of a pull, but with the Retron 5 sometimes it feels like you're digging out nearly the whole system trying to get the card out, which is not good. There is a technique that you can do where you kind of pull it up from the left, and that seemed to have worked for me so far. So I hope that the pins maybe just get looser over time as I use it more. So, do I recommend the Retron 5? With all the points I've talked about, do I recommend the system? And the answer is yes. I do recommend the Retron 5. I have to say I'm very happy with my purchase. I do really enjoy the Retron 5. I've been having a blast with it. It's been so fun being able to play like some games that I've never seen in, you know, like on the big screen before, on a big screen. The most fun one for me was actually Tetris for the Game Boy. It just looked so cool, big on my TV and in color, and it just looked really, really nice. I'm really happy with it, and I do recommend Retron 5 for any collectors out there who have a big game collection, or if you're like me and you just want to get started collecting cartridges. Definitely, the Retron 5 is a great piece of kit. Yeah, that is the end of my review, so thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please a big thumbs up, and also subscribe for love, and hopefully I will see you guys in the next video.